pencils, no more books.
No more teachers, dirty looks.
School's out
for summer.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org, because great things happen when we live united.
Renegade football is about hard work, dedication, character, being a stand-up young man in your community, being a good son and a good student. We had to overcome the obstacles, obviously, of the neighborhood that we're in. We lost a player last year to being gunned down. So we always gonna deal with obstacles on an everyday basis, 24/7, it never stops.
Although the crime rate in the neighborhood may seem bad, one of the things that keep the kids out of trouble is football. And Dwayne Browder Field is a safe zone for kids in the central neighborhood. No wonder why Renegade football means so much.
It's a dominant organization. It's a winning organization. It means more than football. It's a brotherhood, it's fathership, friendships for life.
With hard work, anything is possible. Within 3 years, Coach Hardaway and his staff have taken the Renegades from being a dominant local team to their first invitation to the American Youth Football National Championships.
A lot of work, hard work since April 1st, spring football. Then when we came in June 1st, a lot of conditioning, and then we was faster than all the other teams, stronger. We was working hard.
It makes me feel great. It doesn't happen because of luck. It doesn't even happen because how talented they are. They put the work in. They listen to what we tell them. Our offense is pretty complex, for a youth league team. They've embraced it. Coach Pruitt has got those guys together offensively, and they've showed up and showed out every game this year.
After going undefeated for the 2017 season while averaging 30 points per game, the Renegades won another city championship.
It's been a journey. I've been the head coach here for 3 years. And I lost my first year in the city championship, and I looked myself in the mirror to see what I had to do to get better, to get these guys better. And we went in the last year, we won the championship, and we came in this year, ran the table in dominant fashion, not really playing a close game within 3 touchdowns, and we here now.
After winning the Cleveland Muni Football League championship 2 years in a row, the Renegades clinched regionals and punched their ticket to Kissimmee, Florida, for the national championship.
Being down here, you don't never think you're gonna be on the national stage, on TV. People talk about your name, you just feel like once in a lifetime opportunity. It feels so surreal.
Like, we represent Cleveland Muni. Now, we come from here, from the neighborhood. It's unexpected. We win it, everybody gonna be shocked.
I'm ecstatic because This was my vision 3 years ago when I walked in the door, that I wanted to take this team and put them on a national stage. And the boys have worked. We've been working for this for 3 years. And I'm so excited that they get the opportunity to step across state lines, go down to the Sunshine State, and bring a real spotlight nationally to this program, because they deserve it, this program deserves it. Dwayne Browder is somebody that's near and dear to my heart, this program's heart, and that was also his vision. You know, him being down a little bit right now, we just want to dedicate everything that we do to him, because his hard work and dedication is the reason why this program goes the way it does.
Can I get a one time? One time. Can I get a two time? Two time. Who's out? Who's out? He does it out. He does it out. Renegade! There you go. Break it down.
We played a team from Massachusetts called the Littleton Tigers. We didn't know too much about who they were or what they did, but they were a very tough, fundamentally sound football team. The first drive of the game, they got down into the red zone. We forced a turnover, and then we just got rolling from there. The boys were a little bit nervous. We were a little bit nervous. We didn't really know what to expect. So we just had to get through the first quarter. The kid that I have to talk about first is Deion Floyd. He's our running back. He's been with me for 3 years. He rushed for probably 200 yards yesterday on the ground. Our quarterback, Marvin Conkle, that's our general. He played well. Our general on offense, Darrell Bedingfield, our linebacker, he had about 16 tackles yesterday. And Javante Floyd, AKA Bama, he dominated and controlled the line of scrimmage, along with a host of others.
Well, I was very hyped at the moment, and I feel like I was unstoppable. As I started playing, I started going through the flow, getting through the rhythm and everything, and I was just getting hyped. My first 3 runs I broke for a lot of yards, so that really got me hyped. And the first touchdown, that's when I knew I had everything under control. Started playing good. The game started coming to me. Because one of my coaches, Coach Mike, he told me, slow the game down, let it come to you. He said, take 2 or 3 deep breaths and just focus. He said, you don't need to panic, just calm down.
The Renegades competed in the 14U division, but one of the most outstanding players from Game 1 was 12-year-old Darian Fair. Darian had a major impact on both sides of the ball for the Renegades in Game 1 of the American Youth Football National Championship.
I had 2 picks, 3 touchdowns, 6 tackles. It was up on us. We couldn't stop them. Then when I got the first pick, we just rised up.
They dealt with adversity very well. You know, early on, we had some things not go right. They fooled us with a lot. They ran a lot of misdirection. So the young men they just dealt well with adversity. We had a lot of problems with cramping yesterday because of how warm it was.
First win, it felt very exciting. I feel very happy, and I know how my team is. I knew that we're gonna come out in victory because we have a lot of good players on our team, and I just felt like we're gonna win this one because I believe in my team.
We got Charm City tomorrow. You know, it's been a lot of talk, not just from certain people locally, but people nationally about that. We was just in Division II, so you know, just kind of trying to downplay it, but a lot of people not realizing this is our first year on the national stage, and I mean, we've taken it by storm so far, you know what I'm saying, by the first game. We got to handle our business in the second game. Nobody thinks that we're going to beat Charm City tomorrow. We're the underdog. I mean, nobody really knows about us, but I feel like this team is good enough to beat anybody because of the discipline and the type of football we play. We're physical and we're ferocious. So, you know, it's a lot of hate, but I can guarantee you by Friday, people's minds will be changed. But if they not, I don't care. We're going home with that trophy anyway. So that's just what it is. We working our kids up. I'm continuing to build this program, and you know, hey, IE Ducks, Chandler, Arizona, whoever, you know what I'm saying? You know, they can get whatever. We from Cleveland, we physical. You know, the Cali guys don't play physical football to me. That's just my opinion. That's what I saw. They're not physical to the point. And, you know, basically, we'll have a chance to square that all the way, though. You know what I mean? So that's where we're really at with it. And we're going to keep continuing to get our boys ready. So that's that.
What would a trip be without a few setbacks and minor obstacles? The Renegades bus went down the day before one of the most important games they would play.
It was really hectic because on the way back from, where were we coming from? I want to say Chipotle. The bus experienced some problems. We turned the corner and I guess it was a problem with the transmission. We didn't know how serious the problem was, so they were telling us that they were getting ready to have to tow the bus. And it was hectic because we then had to go outside, take all of our things and belongings off of the bus and kind of hold them inside of the hotel until the new bus arrived. So we were kind of scrambling a little bit before that Charm City game because we were trying to make some contingencies just in case another bus was late showing up to getting us to the stadium. So it was pretty hectic, but you know, we steered the ship and we got through it.
One of the most important things the coaches preach is family. This Florida trip actually brought the entire organization closer.
With being a caretaker of the team, there's certain things you got to take on. And one of my roles for being down there was to making sure the kids ate, you know what I'm saying, making sure, you know, meals was taken care of, being prepared. So we would go over to Walmart. Yeah, I think that was the closest grocery store to us. We go over to Walmart, and we go over there and we buy out all their hamburger buns, all their hot dog buns, and come back and we start cooking, and it would be like, you know, hot dogs, hamburgers, chicken, you know, because everybody, you know what I'm saying. Then we even had a vegetarian in the crew, so we had to get the little veggie burgers for him. So it was something to reckon, you know, cooking for basically 40 plus people, you know, the coaching staff plus the kids, and you cooking for all these people, you know, and it's different than you cooking at home for, let's say, 7, 8 people. So you know, it was a fun experience, you know, to actually go shopping for that many people. And then responsible to make sure everybody ate. That's the funny part. You had to chase everybody down, some in the pool, some in the hot tub, some at the basketball court, you know, some in their room. You had to go chase down 38 kids and bring them all back over there to the table so you can eat as one unit.
Each night after dinner, the coaches made sure the kids hit the books.
Study table was mandatory because we needed to show the young men too that when you are a student athlete, there's a balance. When you go out of town, the schoolwork doesn't stop. You still have responsibilities, but they really rose to the challenge.
We focused on our work first, and then that's what coaches said. They said work first, then you worry about football games. So that little 2 hours, 3 hours we had, it was actually fun, but it was mental. Like we know what I mean.
The one thing about football, you know, in comparison to all the other sports, is every guy you see on the TV screen on NFL Sunday, they went to class, they went to college, they went to school. There's no leave early. If you really think about that, then that lets our guys, we tell our guys so they understand, nobody gets a pass. Every guy you see up there is a college-educated man, period. You know, and that's the goals that we set for them, and they strive to, you know what I'm saying, reach them.
Atmosphere before the Charm City game was electric. It was really all eyes on that field because people were looking forward to that matchup. You know, they're from Baltimore, we're from Cleveland. They're from the inner city Baltimore, we're from the inner city Cleveland. So the excitement was just on 10. So we were getting ready to enter the stadium and they were going in one way, and actually our director, Mike Mason, said, well, let's take the boys around here. And I was like, no, I want to take them around there.
It's like we had a rivalry even though we didn't know that team. Like that team, they made us mad because they came up in our face clapping, so we did it back, we was ready to play.
And one thing about football is, you know, it's a game where respect is earned. You know, and that moment right before the game is like all those guys understand we're getting ready to earn some respect right here.
Charm City game was a tough game for us. We didn't play a bad game, we just made some mistakes that really costed us down the stretch. We didn't field a punt, so it flipped the field. We fumbled the ball a couple times. We had some offsides penalties that really cost us. You know, Charm City have won a national championship 3 times. So they have the pedigree, but we had the pedigree too.
Coming into the game, I'm thinking like, this finna be a cakewalk, because we haven't lost for real. And it's like, first play, I got smacked. And then it's like, dang, this team not playing, so we had to actually fight harder. We kept them to 6 to the fourth quarter, so that was like, it was okay, but we still needed some points on the board. We didn't score. And that was like, it broke my heart for real.
They was much bigger, much stronger, but like our team, our line couldn't hold as well as their line could, and we couldn't do as much because the pocket kept getting closed, and we couldn't do what we were supposed to do in the game.
I teach my kids like it doesn't matter how big they is, they still got to play football just like anybody else. So, I mean, even though we lost 12-0, we practice a lot of different drills, tackle drills, you know, staying disciplined is one of the things. Do your job, basically. Just pretty much do your job and we'll be fine. And they did their job and we held them, even though we lost, we'd take it.
The boys, I saw it in their eyes, the willingness to not give up. Deion Floyd ran the ball hard from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. Marvin Conkle was the captain of the ship on offense from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. So that clock said 0, they were trying to win the football game. Darrell Bedingfield, he left it all out on the field. He had no more to give. You could just look in their face, they were just drained.
No excuses. We played quality 4 quarters of football and we didn't come out on top. But we did everything that we could do in our power to attempt to come out on top. I don't have much to say about it because I'm not used to losing. That's just a kind of attitude that I have. So the one thing that I take out of that game is that, don't take this the wrong way, but we kind of needed to lose. I mean, if there was a time where we had to lose, I felt like that was it because things happened later on that brought us made us a better team. We were a better team at the end of that game with that loss than we were if we would have won.
You know, unfortunately, like I said, against Charm City, we came up a little bit short, but all year long, most teams, and that's a shout out to them, most teams can't stand up to our 4 quarters of pressure. They usually get their pipes busted.
A lot of things happened after the first loss that needed to happen in order for the entire Renegade organization to continue to grow.
After the Charm City game, I was so emotional because I know how far that how far I've come with this group of young men. They were the first group that I walked in the door 3 years ago. They were 6th graders, and we grew together. And to see everything that they accomplished as a team, and when I started to look at some of the individual things that they've accomplished and the young men that they've become, more importantly, you know, they have had some very good accomplishments inside of the classroom, just being young men in the community. And I was so proud of them, but we fell short of our goal, and that was to be national champions. And it was just hurt. We were all hurt because that was our first loss of the season, and those guys are walking out the door. Most of my team is leaving. They're headed to high school. And you know, we knew we were coming down to the end of this journey of the brotherhood that they've established within the Renegades organization. So we all knew that it was kind of getting close to the end after that loss. We were going to play another game, but our time together was getting close to coming to an end. I just think it just was emotional for everybody.
Y'all first time to the dance. Y'all very first time. And y'all took them cats that's going 80, 50, and 70 points on somebody, only mustered up 12 on y'all. Really never put a drive together on y'all. Come on, man.
Hey.
We ain't gonna reinvent the wheel. Y'all played. And I'm proud that y'all played. Straighten y'all faces up. Be men.
Every last one of y'all left it all out on the field. They can confirm that. Y'all did exactly what we asked y'all to do. I put a beating on them boys. I ain't quit. shake their hand, man. It was a good game. Learn from your mistakes. Learn from this experience. You never forget this feeling, though. Don't forget this feeling. That's what I mean. I can't coach this, man. I can tell you about it, but I can't coach it. So right now, I want y'all to embrace that feeling right now. It don't feel good. It's been a long time since we lost. Embrace it. Don't forget it. Let it go. Y'all got y'all respect. That's all you can ask for.
Everybody in the country know y'all now. First time at the dance, y'all dancing with the dog.
The players understood exactly what their coaches were trying to get across to them.
He was trying to say that we came a long way from last year. Like, last year we lost and then be able to go, but like, we in Florida and we had fun as a team. We still had that last game so we could place third in the nation, and we made it.
Y'all all laid on the line today. I know a loss hurt, but all y'all played hard-nosed football today. For 4 quarters. Y'all represented for the Cleveland Muni Football League, for the CMHA Renegades, for Ward 5. Y'all represented for the city. Can't be nothing but proud of y'all. I can't do nothing but smile because that was a good ball club y'all played. And I'm going to reiterate what Coach Hardaway said. They come from the same background you guys come from. That team played hard football. Nobody gave us a chance. But that ball club right there, they know about Cleveland football now. They know about the Renegades. Physical football. Coach told me our boys ain't never been hit like that. Never been hit like that. And they felt it. They felt it. Hang y'all heads high, and we still got more fun. We still got a few more days here.
Hey.
We got a game Friday. We having fun here.
Hey, and guys, and this somebody, my guys coming back next year, raise your hand. My returning guys. I want y'all to take this feeling, twist it up in a bottle it up, put it in you, right? And think about this for the whole offseason as we prepare. We will be back. I got on the podium and said it before. Mark my words. We will be back and we will be national champions. That, I guarantee you.
Woo, he gave me
Hey, when we go to the lab, we will be national champions. I promise you that. Year one, I'm so proud of y'all, man. Look, let's break it down. Let's get back to the bus. Let's go get some food in us, though, man. I love y'all, though, man. I love y'all. Let's go. Hey. The first time some of our kids were away from their parents for a really extended period of time. And I know my boys pretty well. And I watched Raphael. He kind of moped around a little bit. The first couple of days he missed his mom. So when she showed up, he's not a kid that shows a lot of emotion, just period. But I could see the look of excitement, happiness, and relief that she was there.
He's a laid-back kind of kid. Very respectful.
Let's see what these guys are up to. I think they just got off the pool or something. Hey, everybody in a minute. Who's that?
Hey, you miss me?
Hey, who's that right there?
He gave me a one-hand hug.
Right.
He gave me 2 hugs. I miss my baby.
He came out stone.
Yeah, he just don't show no emotion.
Right.
No, you on camera, candid camera.
Tell us how you feel, man. Your mama came down to come support you, man. All the way to Cleveland.
I feel great. I feel grateful. And tired. I'm tired. My voice gone.
Right.
My voice gone.
Hey, Mom, tell us how the trip was.
Oh, let me tell you, like I said, I faced my biggest fear, which was getting on a plane. I made it. I'm here in one piece. All types of things was going through my head. Think of terrorists and everything. But yo, I made it, and I'm glad I came, and I'm glad I'm here to, get the chance to see them play another game because I missed two because I work constantly. So yeah, I'm excited.
I think it meant everything to him. She doesn't miss any games, so the fact that she was there really lifted his spirit. Just got the Universal Studios, about to have a little fun. Great experience, man, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna take the boys in here, have a little bit of fun, and let's see what we can see.
I expect it to be fun and good, and I want to have a good time out here with my friends and my team.
I'm about to get on all these rides, be happy, and get ready. We needed this after that loss.
Universal Studios experience was one of the best things that happened on the trip. AYF, which is American Youth Football, does a great job with the whole event, but on Thursday night of the event, they shut down Universal Studios. So the kids can go and experience the whole Universal Studios experience for 5 hours with just the kids that have participated in the AYF National Championship. We had a blast. I rode the roller coasters. Man, we all just had a great time. Some of the kids have seen it on TV or seen it on YouTube, but they got a chance to really take in that whole experience in person.
It was fun. It's a great team bonding moment. All the tension was high with the loss yesterday, so it was a good time for the team just to recollect themselves and get ready for tomorrow. Physically, I feel great. Mentally, I'm still worried about yesterday, but I know once that 10 minutes go up on the clock, I'll be ready. You got to think it's hundreds and thousands of other teams that's back at home. They didn't come down here. That didn't place at all. It's teams that's 100, 100, you know what I mean? So, like, to be third, it ain't first or second, but it's top 5.
To my guys that are leaving, this is it. Your last game in a Renegade uniform. That's it. It's over with. But play for the young men coming up behind you, that they will have the same experience that you have. It's just like with you guys. My guys that are in high school, like we went to go see Charles, went to go see those guys play, they asked me when we was going to play, why we ain't do that, coach? I said, because y'all was like the founders. We wasn't there yet. We worked up to that. So y'all gonna be the first team that came down here and put it down. So when we come down here and we go back to back to back national champions, y'all was the first. So tomorrow I'm challenging you to dig deep and be selfless. It's not about you. That's just it. We playing for something big. We playing for our names.
After a very emotional loss to the #1 ranked team, some of the players' spirits were down. Some of the boys even said they didn't want to play in the third place game, but things don't always go according to plan. The coaches stressed that the team still needed to go out and give it all they had and end their season as the top 3 14U team in the country. Everyone sacrificed so much for the trip, and the boys owed it to the organization and themselves to try to get to that podium.
Going into today's game, we got to do the things that we've been doing all year. Well, we can't make a lot of mistakes like the last game. We got to fire off the ball. We got to be able to run the football. We got to be able to pass the football. And we got to make stops on defense. On 4th downs and 3rd downs, we got to be able to get off the field. You know, we can't have 4th and 3s turn into people continuing their drives. We'll be playing Helping Hands. They're from Miami, Florida. Pretty fast team, pretty tough team. So we're going to be in for a dogfight. We got to step up and we got to continue to put our program on the map nationally as we've done all week and hope for a good ranking and end the season strong. This is the last go around for a lot of my guys. They'll play their last game as a Renegade, so it's going to be a pretty emotional day, but we just want to come out with the victory.
In my opinion, that first half of football, you had a team that really wasn't necessarily playing to win. They were just playing because they had to.
The first half, we came out flat. I guess because, you know, we're not used to playing 3 games in 1 week. So our kids, you know, they was beat up from the Charm City game. So they didn't know, like, well, the actual rhythm, like to get in the flowing of it.
We were still frustrated from the last one. So then that's why we were battling back and forth, because like we ain't wanted to lose no more. So we kept getting angry at each other.
I think we ended the first half with a pick 6. Marvin threw an interception, they returned it for a touchdown. So we went into halftime, and I basically told the guys that they're not better than you. They shouldn't be on the same field, and we need to step it up.
I'm not a very vocal coach. You know, I didn't need to be for our local circle. We've been rolling and winning. It was nothing, but I felt the urge or the need at that halftime, you know, to say something. You know, it was like the time to speak. If you don't speak, now's the time to speak. And you know, might have had a few bleeping or bleep outs in my motivational speech, but it was very simple. You know, where are you from? From Cleveland. That's not what you say when you with your boys, or you with your friends, or you with your homies. You know, you call yourself from down the way. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean, down the way? I'm gonna tell you what down the way means, in my opinion. Down the way is where you go when you want to play some real football. And that was my challenge to them was, so you're gonna let this team talk about how they whooped on you from down, you know, you couldn't, and I knew that was a way to spark them from, it's all about changing your attitude. And that was my angle. Let me challenge your saying that where you from. And you know what I'm saying? What does that mean? Don't mean nothing if you quit. Don't mean nothing if you roll over. It don't mean nothing.
At first we wasn't thinking about it. That second half when we came out, we actually talked to each other about this being our last game. We had something to actually fight for. This making a name on us, the Renegades. It's our last year, so we came out hard because that's what they're going to remember us as.
And in the second half, because this team is so resilient, I think they scored about 30 points unanswered to end the game. Helping Hands didn't score again in the second half. And I was so proud of them because it's what we talk about, why we condition so hard, why we're so hard on them to be mentally tough. They really answered the bell, and they showed who we really truly are, and that's a dominant football team.
Because what we got them kids to understand was take their respect. It's a physical game. You know, this game is not for everybody. And that's what we teach kids, you know. This is also competitive sport, not recreational sport. You guys are competing on the biggest stage. This is, you know, kids get hurt out here. So what are we doing here? What are we doing? Let's play Renegade football. And it was real simple. That's all we needed to tell them, and the rest is history. Outside of winning the national championship, that was a perfect way to end the season. You know, really, really, really beating down on the team. You know, finishing it. A lot of those kids ain't gonna play community league football no more.
With a sizable lead and a little more than 4 minutes left on the clock, the coach of Miami Helping Hands pulled his players from the field and quit the game.
I was a little disappointed with the tactic that he used to pull his team off the field. I've got beaten sometimes before where a team is running up on me, but we stay until the clock is at 0 because I believe you have to win with class and you have to lose with class. And there's just really no room for giving up or quitting in youth sports or any sports for that matter. So I was really disappointed that he decided to pull his kids off the field with about 4 minutes to go.
And although the coaches and kids were a little disappointed that Helping Hands threw in the towel, they weren't mad about receiving that trophy and a little earlier than expected.
If you're standing here, you're one of the top 4 teams in the entire United States.
Say that one more time.
One of the top 4 teams in the entire United States.
In America.
There's teams that come all the way from Washington State, San Diego, Maine. Top 4 teams in the entire United States of America. You can't get any better than that. So everybody's got a different journey, right?
It felt great. You know, even like I said, even in my coaching mind, I was like, man, this is a 3rd place trophy. But when the guy that was doing the presentation explained that you are one of the 4 best teams in the country, it put it all in perspective for me when I stood on that stage. And I saw how happy the boys were. How much excitement that they were having and experiencing. This is what everything we asked for. We wanted to be on the stage and we got on the podium. You know, it's a lot of different teams that come from really far across the country that don't get on the podium. And I was thankful, I was happy, and it kind of was like the end. And I started to reflect on everything that we had been through, not just this season, but in the seasons prior. And I was just so happy. I thought about all the players that have come through the program and everybody that ever contributed to our program. This was for them, you know. And I thought about Mr. Browder being in the hospital at the time, and I definitely wanted to be able to bring that home to him because he definitely deserved it.
So, Coach, you guys started workouts probably in March, April, May, something like that. Had goals. What were they?
Our goal was to be first city champions, then regional champions, then national champions. We felt like we had a bad quarter on Wednesday. That cost us, but nonetheless, we're here on the stage as a top 4 team in the country, and that was our goal, to get national recognition, and I think we've done that this week.
I love that character back there. You guys are all crazy. So, if you had a parting message for your kids and your families, man, what would it be?
Stay dedicated. You can achieve all things through hard work and dedication. They know that. We put that message into these kids for 3 years. And look what happened 3 years ago when I said that we would be on this stage. Not a lot of people believed me. But y'all understand that through hard work and dedication, anything and everything is possible. I love you guys. To my guys going out the door to high school, this is just the beginning. Not just football, but life. This is the beginning. I'm proud of you guys and I love you guys.
Clap it up for Coach. So on behalf of American Youth Football, I want to present the 2017 AYF National Championship 14U third place trophy to you guys, man.
Renegades in the house.
Hey, thank you guys for being a part of American Youth Football, guys. Thank you.
Fellas, you know, parents, coaches, this is what happens when you work hard. You know what I'm saying? A lot of coaches sacrifice, a lot of the players, a lot of the parents sacrifice a lot. You know, time, money, being away from their own loved ones, their own kids, their own significant others. You know, so you invest a lot in it. You know, and that's the reward. You know, it's good to to get something back.
You think that standing on a podium is as good as it gets, but just a week after returning from Nationals, Coach Hardaway received a call from the American Youth Football Association telling him that one of his players was selected as an All-American.
I was so excited because, I got to coach an All-American, man. Like, that's the highest honor that you can get on any level of sports that you play, is to be an All-American. But this young man, he super deserves it, though. He been loyal to us. I think he's been in this organization since he was about 6 years old, all right? He's been open to coaching and change, and that's really hard for a young man his age, And this young man, when he came up from the JV level, we identified that he should switch to play linebacker when he was accustomed to playing defensive end. And that was a struggle, that was a wrestle, but he got with it, because we saw the potential of where he could go and what he could do. And obviously, I don't know where this young man is right now. I don't see him, you know what I mean? But with no further ado, I want to introduce our first All-American, All-Star, going to play at IMG Academy on he'll leave December 28th. The game is December the 31st. There's going to be college scouts in the house. I said again, one of the 60 best 8th graders in America come out this organization. With no further ado, Darrell Bedingfield Jr., come on up here a bit, baby. So proud of you, bro. Thank you. He's such a teachable kid that he had some hard time in year one. He was about 12 years old, starting with 14-year-olds. So he had some growing pains, but he's always been coachable and teachable. And this year he came back like a man on a mission and dominated on both sides of the football as an offensive tackle and as an outside linebacker. He was the quarterback of our defense, bar none, leader of our football team. And Darrell was the kind of young man that if the coaches need something to be done, we can call on Darrell and he's gonna rally the troops and he's gonna get it done. So when we got the call that he was selected to the All-American game, it was like, wow, the rest of the country is starting to see what we've been seeing for a long time. That this kid is great and he has the potential to go on and do some great things. I was ecstatic for him. And when I got to place that call to his mom, that was a pretty proud moment.
I'm part of the Renegades my whole life. It's a home away from home. It's just brotherhood, fatherhood. It's just unbelievable. I can go on the national stage and perform at the best and go be an All-American.
And if you thought the Renegade story was over after this first trip to nationals and so many talented players leaving the organization to go play high school football, you're definitely mistaken. This is just the beginning.
Man, we got some good kids returning. I got Darion, we got Juju coming back. We have a kid named Tim, who is an 11-year-old that started a couple games for us. He wasn't in Florida. He did a great job for us. We have a kid named Eric that's moving up from JV. He scored about 13 or 14 touchdowns. He made the Florida trip with us. And it's a lot of other kids that I don't want to forget anybody, but it's a lot of other kids that are moving up that are going to contribute. And we're excited because the way we run our program, those kids that are coming up from the lower levels have played in championship games since they were 6. So the pedigree stays the same. We'll just do a little bit more teaching. It's going to be a rebuild because, you know, these guys that just left us, they've been around for 2 years. So we'll reload, as I should say, and we'll be ready to compete again for hopefully our 4th trip to the city championship game, which will be kind of almost unheard of, you know, trying to win a 3rd straight city championship. So our work is cut out for us, but we're up for the challenge.
Well, Dwayne Browder, I first met Dwayne Browder when he was a teenager. And he was in the boxing program up at the Lonnie Burton Recreation Center. And as time went on and he and I got to know each other better, when I became a councilman, I appointed him to the CMHA board. And he used that position to get as much resources as he could into recreational activities and programs for kids.
One of the first people that I met in recreation was Dwayne Browder. This was back in the early 90s. And recreation was it was tough at that time. It was really tough. It was something that they almost were working individually. They weren't working together. The one place they were working together was Lonnie Burton Recreation Center. Now, I grew up in what they call POC, which is Lonnie Burton. And so it held a special place in my heart because I grew up right around the corner in the projects there. And my first rec center was Lonnie Burton, was POC. But when I became the commissioner, Dwayne Browder was there. He was working as a city employee, deputy project director. He was doing football, and he was doing midnight basketball, which was a great program which kept 18 to 25-year-olds off the street. But he was one of the first people that called me and said, here's what we're doing, here's how we're doing what we're doing. And he was a connection to not only the kids and the parents, but things that are just happening in the neighborhood. He had a great outreach to people. But the bottom line was he was taking care of children.
Browder was like a role model to me. He showed me what I was not supposed to do and how I was supposed to do it. And he put me back on the right track. And he showed the Renegade family that anything can be possible if you put your mind to it. And you're supposed to keep your mind in the books.
Coming into this year alone, I didn't have a full set of uniforms for the varsity. I didn't have a full set of uniforms for my JV. At the end of the day, I had brand new uniforms for my varsity, with pants, brand new jerseys for my JV. You know what I'm saying? This stuff this man did. He get on the phone, make a phone call. Okay, you ain't doing what I need you to do. Okay, I gotta call somebody else. Boop. Did he get somebody? Somebody's gonna listen. Somebody's gonna say okay. Somebody's gonna do something because of him, because of the stuff he does, the things he done for so many people.
Browder was a good role model for everybody in the community, and as me coming up, because he helped me through a lot of things, for, to become a coach, Mike Mason, other people, far to go on and on. My son was dealing with little things, a lot of our kids in our program was dealing with a lot of stuff, and Browder used to call me, Mike, Coach Jack, hey, we need to go check on these kids, come bring them over here, Everybody had a nickname, and, to see him leave, hey, he was a good man. And I don't have nothing bad to say about him, nothing, like absolutely nothing.
If it were not for Dwayne Browder, the then Commissioner Browder, there would be no Renegades. At that time, they were called the Redskins. They changed their name to Renegades lately. But there would be no opportunity for the kids to have what they have now. It was because of Dwayne Browder that he created opportunities for young people, whether it was in the boxing programs, the football programs, basketball, whatever it was, he was always there for young people, and he would work with young people who had challenges in their life, and he would help them. When he passed away, if you were there, you would notice that there were many grown men there who talked about what Dwayne Browder had done for them when they were children.
He would take out his own pocket and buy socks for the football team. He'd take out his own pocket and make sure that we had water, Gatorade, sandwiches, you name it. And a lot of that stuff he did on his own. And not only for the football team, but he also did it for the boxing team. You know what I'm saying? The football and the boxing was, was his world. Them kids was his life. He dedicated his life to them kids. And if you seen Mr. Browder in the van, if he didn't have 7, 8 kids with him, he was going to get 7, 8 kids. And they was going to eat, and he was going to lecture them, and he was going to talk to them about life. And he just didn't get the good kids. He always wanted the bad kids. He felt like those are the ones he needed to be with. Those are the ones he needed to talk to. Those are the ones he needed to feed. Because when you think about it, those are the ones who need the most help.
Browder, he actually know what we as kids was thinking. The coaches, they knew a little bit, but they didn't actually know a lot about us as much as he did. He would give us awards from time to time, like student awards, like player of the year, and most improved player. So he actually made half the team happy because he giving away awards and stuff, and we didn't even know he was gonna do this.
Selfless, all about his community. Anytime Mr. Dwayne Browder picked up a phone to call anybody, it was on behalf of one of our children or one of our former children or players in the organization. He gave his life to this movement of saving kids, not just in Ward 5, but in the city, period.
Dwayne's part in that area, in that central area, I don't know if you can measure that, the effect he had over there. But what you can measure is if you went out there and talked to people and to kids that have played in the Renegades or Lonnie Burton, at Lonnie Burton, they will tell you. And I tell my staff even now, recreation, you never get rich. Dwayne didn't have a whole lot of material things, but what he had was a heart for those children, which is more important than anything.
With him being gone, there's never going to be a replacement for him, because He would make phone calls if your lights was out. He'd get your lights back on. He'd make phone calls if you was hungry. Somebody would come by and drop you off food and a gift card. You know what I'm saying? There was nothing that man couldn't do. I mean, he got people jobs, myself included. You know, if you proved to him you was worth for him to go to bat for, he would go to bat for you.
And he's a pioneer that we're gonna miss because he did so much for our football program, but for our community, period. He was an advocate, he was a father, he was an uncle, he was a cousin, he was all of that. And we're kind of running around now trying to figure out how we're never gonna replace Mr. Browder. It's gonna take about, some people say 5, I say it's gonna take about 10 people to do the job that he did. I'm gonna miss him, calling my phone 4 or 5 times a day. We've grown close in the past year and a half, and we're gonna miss him, man. I miss him every day now.
If you ask Dwayne and the people that he took care of and how they came back to help him to pay it forward, he'll tell you that was you couldn't ask for any more. And Dwayne Browder was that kind of guy. And if you had a person like that in every neighborhood in this city, the city would be better off because Dwayne took care of those kids in that neighborhood.
He was a good man for real. Like everybody knew him in the community. That's when you know you're a good person, and then nobody can have anything bad to say about him.
I could talk about Browder all day. You know, I know he in a better place, so I'm gonna leave with that one.